What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Thrive Athletics channel. And today we're going to be talking about the first pull of a snatch. The first pull of the snatch begins with the athlete in the starting position and ends when they reach the hang position. Let's start by breaking down the starting position. In the starting position, you want your weight in your midfoot, the bar touching your shins, tension in your hamstrings, elbows turned out, shoulders in front of the bar, back neutral, and head tall looking up. Your weight will be in your midfoot, because that's the best way for you to produce power. This is very similar to a jump. You want the bar to touch your shins because you're engaging your lats and protecting your spine. Getting tension in your hamstrings is important for a number of reasons. First, having a hamstring stretch lets the athlete know that they're bending at their hips. If you lose that stretch in your hamstrings, that's a good cue for you to know that you're probably bending at your back. Second, putting tension into your hamstrings gets the athlete ready to pull the bar. A mistake that most lifters make is being too loose or too relaxed at the starting position. When this happens, I often describe it as going from 0% to 100% muscle activation. When an athlete does this often causes the hips to rise rather quickly and the bar not move at all. When your hips rise too fast, your legs are actually fully extended with the bar not moving, so you can't actually lift with your legs. And if you can't lift with your legs, the only thing that you'll probably lift the bar with will be your back. You want your shoulders a little bit in front of the bar because if they're too far back, you're putting a lot more pressure into your quads and not enough in your posterior chain or your hamstrings. Finally, you want to make sure that you're looking up because I often always say, if you look up, the bar will go up. If you're looking down, then your whole body posture, your shoulders tend to go down as well. And this will make it very difficult for the athlete to extend back in the high pull. As I mentioned, the first pulse is where the athlete is in the starting position and travels and rises up into the hang position. You want to initiate the pull with your legs, trying to keep your back in a neutral position with your hips and shoulders rising at the same time. Typically, the first pull for most elite weightlifters is done at a controlled speed, because they want to make sure that they're in the perfect hang position. They can hang snatch, hang clean more than they can full snatch, full clean. So the hang position is really important because it generates the most power in the lift. It's important for most beginner weightlifters to control their speed and make sure they're optimizing the hang position. A common strategy amongst beginner lifters is to psych themselves up pretty aggressively and yank the bar as fast as they can off the ground. When you yank on the bar, you don't take the second to generate tension into your posterior chain, your hamstrings, your upper back, and you're not really ready to lift the bar. This causes your hips to shoot up, fully extending your legs, and now the only way you can get the bar up is by lifting it with your back. When you go for the first lift, take the second to make sure you're ready to lift the bar. You control your speed with your hips and shoulders rising at the same time into the hang position at around 80 to 85% of your max speed. Once you reach the hang position, accelerate as fast as you can into the high pull. Let's say you're doing all the things correctly. You're taking a second at the beginning of the lift, you have tension in your hamstrings and your upper back, your posterior chain, but your hips are still rising way too quickly and you're bending at your back. This could be because you're pushing your knees out of the way of the bar back, which is causing your hips to rise too quickly. This was actually something that I struggled with. I was pushing my knees out of the way and my hips were rising too quickly and I was putting all the pressure in the hang position into my lower back. This next cue is for my tall lifters. If you're a long limb lifter, this one's for you. Instead of thinking pushing my knees back, getting them out of the way of the bar, think about pushing them out to the side so they can rise up when you're doing the first pull. As you rise and you push your knees out of the way of the bar, you can still maintain that back angle as you rise up, and it puts you in a better hang position. Now, I'm not saying this is gonna fix everybody, but I know for me, as someone with very long limbs, this helped me increase my snatch from 185 to above 200. And that's how you do the first pull of a snatch. I hope you guys found that super helpful. Please share it with someone working on their weightlifting, especially their snatch, and I'll see you in the next video.